3, Unit 1, Activity 2 about evidence-based practices in the classroom. So the first of my evidence-based practices would be spaced repetition. So what is that? After you teach the students, you ask them what they have just learned. Then you can ask them what they learned a day later, or what they learned yesterday. Then maybe a week later, you can ask them again what they learned from a week ago. And the more they have to think about it, the better the information will get into their brain and into their long-term memory, since they have to recall that information more frequently rather than just a one-off. So how will this benefit the students? This will help benefit the students since they will remember previous lessons more proficiently. I know as a teacher I won't be as frustrated when the students can't remember a previous lesson. So this will make review lessons a lot easier, and you don't have to spend as much time reviewing since you're constantly kind of reviewing all the time. And if I know if my students remember a certain lesson well, I can build off that like a scaffolding and introduce the next section of that lesson. The second evidence-based practice that I chose was mind mapping. So what is mind mapping? Mind mapping is basically word association. You start with one word and you think about a word or words that are connected to that first word. Then you can even expand this and you can think of words that are connected to those second tier words, and you can keep building off of that. These can get quite large rather quickly, depending on how creative the students are, and how many students there are, and how vocal they are. So how will this benefit the students? This will show which words are great for certain topics, especially as a pre-writing exercise. This can also show students that a word can be used in a variety of situations and scenarios. This will get the students to realize that how many words they do actually know and give them a little bit of a confidence boost, showing them that they understand a lot of words. Mind mapping can also show how creative students are. If a student suggests a word to go into a mind map, the teacher could ask how or why is that word good for you there. And so this would also get the students to start thinking critically and even creatively to think why. This kind of reminds me of the game In a Pickle, where you have a certain set of words and you have to say, oh, this word can go into this word, and vice versa. And then, and so you can get some really strange things, strange sequence of words, and so you might have to explain why. And so that's that same kind of idea to get them thinking critically and creatively. And then the third evidence-based practice that I chose was meditation. So what is meditation? It is a breathing exercise to calm the body and give focus to the brain to whoever does meditation. That way they're able to be more attentive to the materials being taught, and they will also perform better. And so how will this benefit the students? Being able to focus on something being able to focus is something that a lot of people, not just students, are not able to do as well as it used to be. Just looking at some YouTube and how they are not favoring long content creation as much, like videos that are 10 minutes are not being pushed, or the algorithm is not recognizing them as much. And they're favoring the content for the shorts, just like how they're following the TikTok's product. And so it is sad to see that a lot of people cannot sit through longer videos more than 10 minutes without either getting distracted or getting bored and just and moving on to the next thing. So trying this back into the classroom, so having the students, especially at the beginning of a lesson, starting their lesson with a meditation, getting them calmed down and ready to focus, and just even for like a minute, will help them get ready to learn, and they'll be ready. And then it'll also help with the teacher have better lessons, since they know that the students are listening better, and also the teacher won't have to do as much discipline with some students. If some students are quite active and are moving around the classroom a lot, especially with younger students, the teacher can that probably won't happen as much because the students are calmer and they're not so energized. And then that would also allow the students to focus better and be more engaged. And this has been my reflection.